the football we have in this country is bigger than any other person. I think Ghana football is in crisis.
It's in crisis.
Let's have swag on board. Let's have rag on board. Let's have retired footballers.
Yeah.
If Ghana qualify miraculously for this AFCON, you see Ghana football fans say we are going to win the AFCON. I think it is Abedi Pele.
Yeah.
Right.
I think his silence is deafening.
Definitely. Right, guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Precursor Global Sports. As usual, we're here to give you some insightful conversations around the world of football right here in the studios. And as usual, I have my esteemed panelists in the building. As usual, I have my man to my left. I have GH Armando. Today he's ready to fire. Black Stars is ready to fire. And as well, I have my man Rozo in the building. It's been a while, Rozo.
Yeah, it's good to go.
Yeah,
Always
right.
happy to be here.
Right. Excited to have you.
Yeah, sure.
Armando.
Yes, sir.
What happened?
Normal thing.
Black Stars.
It's unfortunate.
We in four games. We've been able to. Did we win any of them?
We have
I think one win.
one win. Yeah, one draw.
Two draws. Or
No, it's one draw.
One draw,
and
two
then
losses. That's good performance, isn't it?
Really?
Right. I mean, there've been a lot of conversations going on.
Yeah.
Frankly, a lot of Ghanaians are not happy about the performance of the Black Stars in the past few weeks, months, years. And there've been a lot of issues popping up.
Yeah.
In your own estimations, what do you think the bigger problem is, the real challenge of the Black Stars is? Because nobody can tell me that. I mean, Ghana having the likes of what's the name? Juku,
yeah.
Ali Seidu, having Jordan Ayew, J9, and
Mohamed Kudus
and all of these
you can
players.
Keep
You can't
mentioning
tell us
them.
we
can keep mentioning them.
we are not good enough.
Yes. Let me be frank with you, and I'm going to be honest about this as well. If we are to look at the core problem of this our nation, because it's not only the Black Stars that is suffering.
Yeah,
So
our football in general.
Yes, so I think the main focus we have to look at is the Ghana Football Federation or Ghana Football Association. The administrators of Ghana football. There's a problem there, a big problem. So for me, if we are to sanitize, that's where we have to start from.
From the top.
From the top. That is where we have to start from. Yes, of course, the players are playing without the zeal, without the willpower. But what is causing that? There is something that is triggering that behavior, that kind of attitude in the field of play. What is triggering that attitude? That's where we have to look at first before we then look at, okay, why are you so sluggish doing this? Why are you so unconcerned? So that's where my problem is. So for me, I don't hit on the players directly. I hit on where the problem starts from. So for me, I think it's administrational problem. It's not only the Black Stars. Just look at our league, our local leagues.
Even the local league, yeah.
From the lower ranks to the highest, it's very, very down to the earth.
Poor.
So for me, I believe strongly it's not only the players, the responsibility of the players, but the administrators in general. They are the primary suspects.
On the other channel, a subscriber from South Africa said they missed Asante Kotoko and Folk. I mean, in the CAF Champions Leagues and all.
That's a fact.
You just don't know what is happening.
That's a fact. There was a ranking before you continue. There was a ranking in the African territory. My big brother is here. If he's aware of that, they were compiling the leagues, the African leagues,
right,
from the highest to the lowest. I think Ghana was somewhere 30 something.
Ooh. Out of how many?
Out of 40.
Wow. That's
42
low.
or 43. Ghana was somewhere 30 and below.
That's low. Very, very
according to the leagues, the competitive nature of your league,
the clubs,
the business nature of it, and everything. Why? This is Ghana. I mean,
it means there's a problem.
Big one.
There's a problem. Rosa, let me come to you. I mean, this is Ghana we are talking about. For the past few years, we've really, and I think we've had this same conversation here. Sudan beating Ghana. It doesn't really. I mean, sound. I don't know, but I don't know what to say. Yes, it's football now. Yeah. Every small country is putting a lot of effort here and there. But come on, this is not the Stephen Appiah's Ghana we used to know. The Michael Asian's Ghana we know. What is happening?
Prince, stop living in the past and come to the present. I think you have to come to the present.
I hear you.
And let me tell you something.
Right.
Now, imagine there's an accident on the highway. You go there to offer first aid to the victims. And then you see that there are some with fracture, the long bones, whatever, and then you are treating them. Now, there's this other victim who comes out of the vehicle involved in the accident. He doesn't have any physical injury. And you say, okay, so you are good to go, you are fine, just step aside. He steps aside. You continue to offer first aid to those having bleeding and all that. Yeah. Suddenly you turn around and then you see that the one who is physically fine falls and collapses and dies. You never thought he may have had some injury, but he had internal
serious internal injury.
So there may have been internal bleeding from a vital organ in the system.
Right.
That is Ghana football.
Right.
If you look at it, perhaps physically you may not find some faults, but inside there's some genetic problem in our football in Ghana here. And then until and unless we spoke the truth to power, that be in football administration in this country, we'll continue to have these problems every now and then. Nothing is of any good note in Ghana football, not international football, not club football, not even in women's football, nothing. Now, you mentioned a fan from South Africa lamenting we don't have Hartlepool, we don't have Asante Kotoko. That's even a far cry. You can't even look. Kotoko and Hartlepool are no longer glamorous as they used to be. They are no longer glamorous. Now, if you come to our Premier League here, now he says he cited some ranking.
Ranking.
Look, our league is nothing good to write home about in Africa. Okay, so back in the day, we had 4 slots in Africa. Top 2 going to the CAF Champions League. 3rd and 4th going to the Confederations Cup. Today, our CAF coefficient points have dropped. It's about how well your clubs go to do in Africa. That earns you the points in coefficient ranking, so that you're either given more slots or your slots are reduced. Today, we have 2 slots. The winner of the Premier League in Ghana here goes to the CAF Champions League. The runner-up goes to the Confederations Cup. And if care is not taken, there might even still be some reduction. You understand? Right. Now, today we are talking Black Star. That is very symptomatic of the state of our football. Ghana Black Star. In the last 4 or 5 years, what is there to celebrate? Now, look at this. The last World Cup was in 2022, right? In Qatar. Now, after the World Cup, when they ranked all the countries, Ghana was somewhere last or second last. 32 countries in the world. Wow. Nothing good to write home about. The following AFCON, where did we end up in 2021? Remember Ghana ending last in a group comprising Comoros in an AFCON and getting relegated or dropped. The last AFCON, we are also talking about what happened. So I hear some Ghanaian football fans say it's even better we don't qualify for this AFCON. Because we go in there, it's a waste of taxpayers' money for nothing to show. So the state of our football is very, very sick, very sick. And we don't have to pretend about it. We have to accept reality that as we speak, our football is down. What we must do to revive it is what we should discuss on tables like this. And I just want to say that our authorities must pay attention to what the fans on the streets say. You see, knowledge and wisdom is not a repository. They are not the repository of those in coats, in suits, occupying high office. You can have idea from someone in the streets. Now you take that idea, you put it to action, and then there's results, there's benefit at the end of the day. So to cap it and just to sum it, it's just like today we have been lagging behind for some time. We used to rub shoulders with Egypt, right? With Ivory Coast, with Nigeria, with Tunisia. Those top African countries. Today, we cannot even think of it. We can't. Look, I cited the CAF ranking, and Ghana was somewhere 13th or 14th. A place below Cape Verde. Cape Verde. Now, Prince, let me put you on the spot. Like Comoros. They beat us in one of the recent AFCONs. Can you name one club from Comoros?
No.
Can you name one player from Comoros?
I don't. I only know I don't know whether that's their captain, the Sakura. I don't even know where he plays.
So it's not about names anymore. You mentioned it. People, I mean, some countries have taken over. In Ghana, if we don't take time, our slump is just getting started.
Wow.
Yes, our slump is just getting started. Today, this AFCON, we are not likely to qualify.
Yeah.
We are not likely to qualify.
It's not going to be possible.
Masa, it's likely to be Angola and Sudan. Straightforward.
Yeah.
But if you look at it that way, you may be missing the point too. Look at our Black Star team. There is factionalism in the team. There is camping in the team. So many camps are emanating in that team. And even boardroom. What is the FA doing about these things? Because that is the body clothed with the responsibility of taking care of this team and many other national teams in this country. But today, what is happening? And you know the painful thing? If you criticize or you critique the system, then there are those who come on you and then they give you the flack and they're like, you are a naysayer, you are a doomsayer, you are a pessimist.
Yeah, that's how we are.
So if things are not going well, we should all keep quiet.
We should all keep quiet. Yeah.
No, we cannot do that.
Yeah.
We cannot.
Especially when they have a thing or two to lake over in the top. Yeah. They feel that everything that is going on should be supported. Whether good or bad. And I think that is what has brought us this bad, or has made us this bad.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it is just happening now.
No, it started way back.
Way back. And no, like people who are supposed to speak didn't speak. And those who are speaking, just as you said, were seen as the bad ones.
Yeah.
And at the end of look at where we are today. Look at where we are today.
That's a hypocrisy.
And to be honest with you, for me, I feel that Ghana shouldn't be involved in any competitive tournament for the next 5 years. Because we have nothing good to offer. We should go back to the drawing board. We should go back to the drawing board. Make sure that we do the right things.
Yeah.
If you don't do, I mean, nature is nature. If you don't do the right things, you won't get the right results. No matter what you do.
Yeah.
No matter what you do.
I agree with you. I think I've been crying about this since the last AFCON.
Right.
I just can remember clearly that in one of our sister stations, FM sister stations, I definitely said that. I mean, we as a country, even if we have to get the government involved,
right?
Let's just get the banish. Like let's get banned.
Yeah.
And then we'll rebuild from there. I said it so many times that I think that would have been better. Let the government, intervene, sack all the administrators. He has that power. He can do it. Just that after doing that, then a ban will come from FIFA.
Yeah.
And that would have changed a lot. Let's not, keep this thing as a political cover up. Because for me, that's what I think. There are some people there who are even heavily supported by some of the politicians. So he knows that if I act upon what the people are saying and I remove this person, then the next election, I won't be supported. It's clear. And we can even see that from the Ministry of Sports and other, authorities that we have there. Why are we still here? That means the political system of our government is also in the administration of our Ghana Football Association. And it is killing everything. It is killing the beauty of the game.
Right. Rosso, let me come to you. I mean, we've enumerated some of the problems. What should we do, or what should be done if really we truly want to come back to our glory days as a footballing nation?
You see, the first step in finding solution to every problem is first admitting the presence of the problem. Like, look, I have a problem and I am setting out to solve that problem. That is the first thing we must do as a football people in Ghana. Then afterwards, I think that there must be some broad stakeholder consultation. Broad stakeholder consultation. Look, leadership is about taking responsibility in hard times. And I remember recently in this country, there was a president who saw that the economy of the country was not going on well. Now, he organized some conference of a sort at Senchi. And I'm talking about JDM, John Mahama. He did it.
Right.
Now, it was a consultative process that he brought together and even invited political opponents to come together. I mean, it's a national issue. So let's do it. Then they went to Senchi and then they discussed around it. Now, I want to take a semblance from that. We should do something like that. And look, let no one deceive themselves. This is crisis time. I think Ghana football is in crisis. And once you find yourself in crisis, you must do everything possible, whether diplomatic or drastic. Sometimes we must shake this thing about saying nice things or going diplomacy. You have to be radical sometimes. radical.
Very true.
You take radical measures to turn situations around. And look, I mentioned hypocrisy. It's not about doing a winner takes all mentality. Once you win an election and then you assume office, you are answerable to everyone.
That's true.
You must be acceptive of dissent. Everyone must not agree with you all the time.
Right.
There must be disagreements.
Right.
Now, at this point in time, what do we do? I spoke about broad stakeholder consultation. Prince, look at this. And I wish I could look at the leaders of Ghana football in the face and tell them this.
Right.
Look, with my small, frail voice, and I want to use the esteemed and coveted platform of Prince Hamdan, which is a podcast.
Right.
And I want to speak to the powers that be in Ghana football.
Right.
Look, the football we have in this country is bigger than any other person, any group of people. What we must do now is that let's declare crisis. Let's declare crisis and then find answers, solutions to this crisis. What should we do? Look, extend an olive branch to everyone who is a stakeholder in football in this country. Let us convene at a place, even if it be a 2-day, 3-day conference. We have many football brains in this country. Look,
Many.
and the stakeholders, I cannot count. We can have something like SWAG, Sports Writers Association of Ghana. I mean, Kwabena Yeboah is involved in this. He's like the leader of it. He's the president of it. Let's have SWAG on board. Let's have RAG on board, Referees Association of Ghana. RAG. Let's have them on board. Let's have PFAG, Professional Footballers Association of Ghana. Let's have them on board. Let's have retired footballers. Our legends are there. You cannot name them. You understand? Let's have retired or active football administrators. They are in this country. Let's bring them on board.
Many of them.
Let's have journalists, sports journalists. And hearing again, Kwabena and Co are here. Carl Tufu is here.
All knowledgeable people.
Bring them on board. And I remember back in the day, you know, Hatzefolk was led by a CEO called Harry Zakor. You remember him? Then Asante Kotoko was Herbert Mensah. Look, these guys are still they are still alive, active, hale and hearty. Bring them on board. Now, if you bring all these stakeholders on board, even if it's a retreat, let's go somewhere. There's a budget. Yes, 2 days, 3 days. Go in there, sleep there, and then discuss around this. There will be brainstorming. Okay. Now, once we do this, what is the import of it? The import of it must be to come out with a working document. What is wrong with our football? These are the problems. What are the solutions to these problems? These are the solutions. Now, they must be practicable. Then we must have it in a time-bound manner in the next 10 years. And you mentioned let's go back to the drawing board. It's about two commodities that Ghana football we don't have: time and patience. We must give time some time. We must give time some patience. These two things, if we have them, now we gather all the requisite materials we need in ensuring that we arrive at promised land. Then we give it some time. It's not about, look, this thing about AFCON every 2 years. We go to AFCON every 2 years and then we fail.
We disgrace ourselves.
It's like that proverbial SHS student who writes, what's he write? He fails. He writes the following of deck, he fails. He writes the following of deck, he fails. He doesn't think that, let me give it some time and sit on the book, study very well, and then now target the next 2 or 3 of deck and write and pass once and for all. That is how we must approach our football. Look, if Ghana qualify miraculously for this AFCON, you see Ghana football fans say we are going to win the AFCON.
That is the you know the mentality that gets me.
We are still in the denial stage. And if you are still in the denial stage, you can never solve any problem. That's what I'm saying. Look, let's get all these people on board. Do a 3-day conference somewhere. Let central government get involved. Like he mentioned, there must be some sponsorship package. Now, we do this. We have a policy document. What do we do to this policy document? We keep it at the FA. Look, every succeeding FA chairman in the last 10 years must align his campaign promises with this document. It must not be the case that you do your campaign manifesto promises, then you are like, when you come to office, you neglect that book to the background and you want to implement whatever you are coming with. You must do your manifesto in accordance with what is contained in this working document so that when you come on board, everyone comes and then he pushes the wheel and then we push it forward. That is how we are going to do. If not, if you continue to do the winner takes all mentality, it's about you versus me, it's about us versus them. We are never going to solve any problem in Ghana football.
Never.
You understand?
Never.
And politics, we have allowed politics creep into our fold. Now it's about factionalism, it's about partisan politics in our football. We don't need it.
That's true.
We don't need it.
That's true.
Look, I think that, the powers that be in football must wake up. They are slumbering for long. Let them wake up to the reality that we are no longer the Ghana we used to be.
No, we are not.
We may have been 4-time champions of the AFCON since 82 in Libya, over 4 decades ago. Now, let me shock you. When Ghana won her 4th title, okay, in 82. Cameroon had not won one
Not
AFCON.
even. Oh my God.
Egypt had won only one. Today, what is happening? Where are they and where are we? You understand? Look, the AFCON, what happened? After Abedi Pele's days in Senegal 92, we lost the final to Ivory Coast, courtesy of a marathon penalty shootout. Fast forward, we hosted in 2000. It was a co-host with Nigeria. We got booted out by Siambonga Nomvete in South Africa in Kumasi. Mali 2002, there were problems in camps. Semi Kufuor had to be sent back home. You remember it famously. 2 years later, in 2004, in Tunisia, Ghana failed to qualify. 2 years later, in Egypt, we were there, booted out at the group stage, beaten by even Zimbabwe. I remember Ghana wearing black against them. 2 years later, Ghana hosted in 2008. What happened? Booted out in the semi-final against Cameroon. We beat Ivory Coast in Kumasi to be 3rd place. 2010, then there was some magic one-goal project. Samoa Jan in Angola. Made it to the final. Got beaten by who? Egypt. 2 years later in Gabon, you understand, we didn't do anything of notice. Then fast forward, in 2012 when there was the AFCON, CAF wanted to revert it back to the odd years. So then instead of 2012, instead of next one, 2014, the following year, 2013, there was an AFCON in South Africa, won by Nigeria. And Stephen Keshi, you remember, of blessed memory. Now, 2015, we're in the final. We're beaten again on penalty shootouts by Ivory Coast. You understand? So what I'm saying is that a decade ago, 2014, 2015, maybe it was a bit better. Today, it has gone worse. It has gone worse. We're not doing well in the AFCON. We're not doing well in the World Cup. What has changed? I think that we must convene this broad stakeholder consultation. Let's have it as soon as possible. Let's have a working document born out of it. Let's implement it to the letter. We must not be in a hurry. We must not be in a hurry. Give it a 10-year term. There should be some short term, medium term, long term. That's how we can arrive again and then become the Ghana we used to be. If not, forget it.
I think for me, I totally agree with that. But then, will it happen?
That's the big question.
It's like we are so dishonest as a people, especially those at the top. They know what they are doing with Ghana football. They know that if this stakeholder something convenes, it is going to expose a lot of them. They are the cause of the problem. They know what they are doing.
Prince, sorry, you have an accident, you have an injury. Okay, bicycle, motorbike. Then there's dirt on the injury because you fell. There's some soil particles there. Now, would you wash it up before you put a drug, or you just put the drug in the mix of the dirt?
Of course, you would have to wash it.
So if you don't wash the dirt out, how do you get healed?
But that is the problem. If the person who has the wound is not willing for you to wash it before you put it.
No, the thing is that they may be at the top of affairs. They may be at the helm of affairs. But they don't own it.
That's what I said.
They don't own it. The football in this country belongs to the people of this country. You and I and them. You understand? Sometimes, like I said, it has to be radical sometimes. Not chaotic.
I understand.
Not disastrous.
I understand.
Radical. We can have those measures to arrive at a conclusion that we all desire.
I mean, let's look at it from, because now we are looking for solutions. Such how do you call it, a conference? How do you suggest it's organized? Who should be the conveners of this particular conference? Like from what you are putting out.
Look, we must go against a certain defeatist mentality. Look, today football in Ghana is organized by the GFA, Ghana Football Association. There's a president of the GFA. He is the number one person in the GFA. It is his responsibility. If we don't even want to stretch it to the Ministry of Sports, let's say GFA. Now, Keto Kriku, who is the chairman of the FA, must take responsibility. Now, there may be something that may disincentivize him. That, look, if I convene this conference, it will be accepting that I have failed. But what is wrong with accepting that you have failed? Because there's some failure.
That is a problem.
Because there's some failure. Now, he must think that the football he organizes is bigger than him. You understand? He occupies an office that is a public office. Which presupposes that he's accountable to the people. Now, if he also accepts that, okay, there's some bad result, let's solve it, then he convenes such a conference, and you sit somewhere and you insult him that he has failed, then you are rather the pessimist and not Kate. Because he admits that, look, we have to solve this together. So what is wrong with that? Now, if he does that, I mentioned all those stakeholders, let them come on board. We have referees in this country. From your end, what do you think is the problem of football? From your end of refereeing. Now, they may have a rep amongst them who speaks at the conference, outlining all those things.
Yeah.
Right.
Then there's the swag bit. There's the retired legends bit. There's the active players
journalists,
bit. The journalist bit.
Right.
All these things. There'll be some people put in charge of convening this and putting it into a document. You understand? That's where I'm coming from.
And that is the point I'm making. For me, I don't believe that the GFA don't know that this will be the right thing to do.
Will you wake them up, Prince?
Will
you
they
wake them
do
up.
it?
You wake them up.
Right now, for me, I would have loved your solution to happen from a different point of view. Because if we wait for
Independent.
exactly, if we wait for the GFA to organize, it's never going to happen because they are complicit in the problem. They're part of the problem.
Recently,
Right.
multimedia journalists, their sports department, they did some research or some work on it.
Right.
And according to them, they came out with some
findings
like that they furnished the FA with. I know this for fact. I don't know how it has been implemented.
That is the point.
I don't know.
That is the point. And even when journalists go to such extent to try to expose some of these things, they become enemies of the FA.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say it's a deliberate problem. Is we are being deceitful. We are being dishonest as a people. We know we have fantastic football people. We have very, very fantastic football people. They know what to do to change the situation.
Yeah.
But for how long can we continue to worship egos?
That is the point. They won't.
This is egos at work.
They won't.
But there's a football we have to salvage.
They won't.
Because we are sinking by
And
the day.
once somebody is at the top of the organization, you from the bottom, you can only speak.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, I mean, we are able to have some other secondary power that can push things to happen. Even the government or the ministry we are talking about, they are equally part of this problem.
Exactly.
They are part of the problem.
So that's why
look at what has been happening to our stadiums. Who is supposed to fix the stadiums?
Yeah. Ministry of Sports.
For all we care about is getting some loot and put in our pockets.
Yeah.
They don't really care about solving the problems. I don't believe that CAF don't know what to do or the GFA don't know what to do to solve this problem. They know.
You know that recently there was a demonstration against the FA.
Yes.
In Accra.
Yes.
And as far as I can remember, in my few years in football, this is the first time a football public has risen against the football administration. And actually undertaking a demonstration.
Yeah.
Why did they demonstrate? They demonstrated because, according to them, football was not going on well in this country.
True.
The bad state of our stadia.
True.
The poor state of our local
leagues.
None of the national teams is doing well. None of the national teams is doing well. Not the Black Stars, not the Satellites, not the Meteors, not the senior national team.
When was that we drew to?
Just last night.
Is it Benin?
Yeah, last night.
After having been beaten by Germany, how many goals? 5 goals. You understand? Look, club football. Prince, 2 years ago, Midiama won the Premier League.
Yeah.
Last season it was Samatex. 2 seasons ago it was Midiama. When Midiama won, what was their prize money? $25,000.
Yeah.
$25,000. As I speak, there are clubs in the Premier Soccer League in South Africa that are poaching players from Europe to South Africa.
Yeah.
For millions of dollars. How can you compete? How can you compete? What is the wage? Look, the richest club in Ghana here, which one is it? You may say Asante Kotoko, you may say which club. What is their wage bill? It is nowhere near what a club like Al Ahly will spend in embarking on an away trip in the CAF Champions League. Away trip.
Yeah.
Away trip. Even Tanzania here, TP Mazembe, Engelbert, and all those clubs, we cannot compete. Today, in the African football landscape, even talking club football, not international football, no Ghanaian club can stay afloat in Africa. When was the last time you saw a Ghanaian club make it to the money zone of the CAF Champions League? When? This is what we are talking about.
It's hard.
If you don't cut the slump, it is going to continue for God knows how long.
Yeah, that's
so
fact.
Are you going to leave that and consider egos? No.
That's fact.
And when we speak like this, we are not after any personality. We are after the offices they occupy.
Yeah.
Because they came to meet it. And they will go and leave
it.
Now look at this. Kurt recently spoke passionately to the Black Star players.
Right.
Sometimes these are the things we must do. And he told them, Kudus, this team was in existence before you were born.
Right.
Jiku, Jordan. He kept. The team is older than him.
Right.
Yeah.
You understand? And every other administrator that has come to administer our football, it means the team is bigger than all of us.
All of you.
So we must worship the team and not personalities. That's what I'm saying.
Fact. Let me come to you, GH. Your solutions.
For me, I said it before. I think the government should intervene because, like you said, they themselves will not accept the fact that they know the problem and they will agree to actually set up this committee. But
A fantastic idea.
they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. So that's where we need the external force to just come in and then like he said, not brutally, but in a way that at least the world will hear of what is going on. Then let's get back to drawing board. Let's begin from scratch. Let's restructure. I mean, that will give us some time, some space as well. You know, if we have like 4-year ban, I think that will give us some enough time to build so well. Right. But other than that, I don't think they would actually agree to do anything like that.
And I hear in some quarters people talk about, look, okay, so we didn't win against Sudan because we didn't call Andrea. Look, I think that we must go beyond these things. We must go beyond these things. Right. Look, and there are those who are like, today Ghana football is in tatters because we sent Kwesi Nyantakyi packing and all those things. Look, let's shelve hypocrisy. Right. This is not what we need.
We need at the moment.
Fact, Nyantakyi's era, the number 12, was there wrongdoing? Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Was there wrongdoing? Right. Yes. Right. Wrongdoing was punished.
Right.
And
that's
let no one blame our current woes on the number 12.
No,
number 12 was a piece of work done by a journalist that was appreciated back then.
Right.
We cannot expect fine results immediately. There must be some bitter pill to swallow before we have some wellness.
That's true.
Yeah.
So we must look at it that way.
In that order.
Stakeholder consultation, not FA Congress. The FA has 2 congresses.
Right. They meet.
Ordinary Congress, extraordinary Congress. At these congresses, Prince, spare me a minute.
Right.
At these congresses, what is normally discussed for me is a laughing stock. I am not a big fan of Congress, especially in these days. Because Congress is basically, you see delegates who are club owners, club administrators, go to the congresses. And what they do is to chant slogans.
And worship people.
Chant slogans.
Come on.
Just because there's some dividends coming at the end of the day. And not to discuss teething issues in Ghana football that needs solutions. I am not a big fan of Congress. This is not Congress. This is broad stakeholder consultation. People outside the realm of the FA. Let them come around one table and discuss the problems we have in Ghana football and not to worship anybody.
For me, I think, as I said, that would be a brilliant idea. Yeah. And I'll be very happy if it is done outside of the FA.
The FA, yeah.
The FA can be involved, but then people who have more power than the FA should be the people to command this particular stakeholder conference. And it's going to really, really put the issues to bear. If you are intentionally sleeping, then we intentionally wake you up. Yeah. We can't continue like this. We can't continue. Then it's better we stop playing. It's better we stop playing, because now the confidence that the Black Stars or the national team is losing from Ghanaians is incredible. It will get to a point, Ghana will be playing in Ghana and you won't see a single person there. You won't see a single person there, and that is shameful. It is all because of some of these things that are happening. Yeah. Don't think that because you, as he said earlier on, you are voted into position, you know everything. People are outside and they are watching you. Yeah. If you are doing the right things, they will know. They know. They will support you. Yeah. There are some who are generally hypocrites, but there are some who want to see the right things being done. Yeah. And as I said, nature will always expose you. Yeah. Whether no matter how high you go, you come back to nature, and nature will expose you. And that is exactly what is happening to
now.
Ghana football. Yeah. And for me, we have to find a solution. If this conference can happen, fantastic idea. But will it happen?
I doubt.
Will it happen? CK Jamfi, Ohene Jan, Baba Yara, and all our football forebears who are no longer with us must be turning in their graves. If they were to have an idea what the state of Ghana football is currently, I am telling you. And I can only imagine what retired legends will be thinking right now. Osei Kofi, all those legends in Ghana football. Because if they juxtapose what is happening now with what happened yesterday, it's going to be a far cry. No comparison, no basis for comparison at all. When we are talking about 2024, and there's a World Cup in 2 years' time, 2026.
Yeah.
We can't qualify for an AFCON. Is it a World Cup we will qualify for, which is even more difficult? Well, maybe it is good news that this time there will be an increment in the slots in the World Cup. Every continent will have increased slots. We can take, some solace in that. But even at that, it will not come on a silver platter.
That's why, for me, I always say, even if we qualify, to what?
What are we going to do?
What are we going to do there? It's not just for the sake of qualifying.
It's another disaster we're going to.
Yeah, it's better we come home. Let's not waste the meager resources we have to send them there and then come back with nothing.
Prince, who is, in your opinion, who is Ghana's best footballer of all time?
Wow. Do I have?
I put you on the spot.
On the spot.
That's
I
a
have an
huge
opinion.
one.
Right.
And I think it is Abedi Pele.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
the first name that
his silence is deafening.
Deafening. It
in
is.
the administration of Ghana football.
It is.
I think he's overly quiet.
It is.
Look, he may say that I want to be in my small corner, managing my nanny FC, managing the affairs of my children's football career. But he's a national hero.
Hero.
He must take special interest in the affairs of football in this country.
Yeah. It's very, very
true. I think
true.
he's heavily quiet.
It's very, very
He
true.
must pick up sometimes.
And for me, I think, I'm not cutting you, but I think it speaks to the mentality, the system. The winner takes all kind of situation you spoke about. Yeah. Because there have been a lot of other ex-players who have even come out to cry out.
Yeah.
How, the FA don't want to give them space to even contribute.
They tell them they don't have certificates.
Exactly. So if Abedi Pele feels that I think, I don't know him very much, but I think he's a very quiet person.
Yeah. Reserved.
Very reserved. Exactly. That's the word.
Reserved.
And these kind of people don't really want to get into things that they are not invited into.
Yeah.
But then I think it's fact.
But
somebody like Abedi Pele,
if
an institution in Ghana football.
If this conference were to convene, he would need a special invite.
Let's
have someone Abedi Pele must come and speak on this. We're talking about a world figure.
Special invite.
World figure.
And I know by now, even people like him are turning like to like find a way to say something.
We like they say in political parlance, we have the men.
We have
Tony Balfour. Look at Tony Balfour.
Look at what he
is a world figure.
Come on.
Working in the corridors of FIFA.
Yeah.
In the World Cup platform. Which other platform is bigger than the World Cup? Sami Kufuor. Recently you saw how Bayern Munich celebrated his birthday. Sami Kufuor. Yeah. All these people.
Yeah, we have them.
So why don't we bring them on board? Let's discuss. Look, nothing is going on well in Ghana football today. Let's discuss what has gone amiss and how can we salvage the situation. It's about bringing these men together.
And that is always my problem with Africa. We are always thinking about our stomach. Not the job that we have to do. Not the jobs that we have to do. Football has almost collapsed in this country. It has collapsed.
Yeah,
look at our coast systems.
I agree with Mr. Rose about the Abedi Pele coming out to speak. Yeah. Yes, we all know you have your team and you are working with them and you are getting what you want from them. But don't forget that you are still in Ghana. Mm-hmm. And if you need Ghana football to actually sell your players.
Right.
If Ghana football is dead, how are you going to sell your players? Are you going to move them to Nigeria before you get the exposure? No. That means you are still in the quarters of Ghana football. So you need to speak.
Right.
So I think I agree with him that we need to hear from him.
I don't know. I think
this topic demands a part 2.
Right. Guys, I don't know if you want a part 2 of this conversation.
Yeah.
But then if you're watching for the first time, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. If there is a part 2, you definitely be notified so you have a feel of it as well. As you can see, passionate conversation. I mean, this is what we expect the top hierarchy of Ghana football to do. They have to have these conversations and find solutions.
Yeah.
That is why they are there. Right, guys? We'll see you in the next episode. Peace. We out.
Yeah.